everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the remarkable, complicated, and often unpredictable story of one of the most influential figures in modern music and culture, Kanye West. Whether you know him for his groundbreaking albums, his bold fashion ventures, his headline-making statements, or simply his larger-than-life personality, there's no denying that Kanye West has become one of the most talked-about people of the 21st century. But let me ask you something before we begin. What does it really mean to be a genius? Is it someone who constantly succeeds? Or is it someone who refuses to think like everyone else, even when the world disagrees with them? Kanye's story begins in Chicago, where he was raised by his mother, who played a huge role in encouraging his creativity and confidence. Unlike many artists who stumble into music later in life, Kanye seemed drawn to creativity from a young age. He loved art, writing, and music, and he wasn't afraid to dream big. Now think about this for a second. How many people have enormous dreams, but never tell anyone because they're afraid of being judged? Kanye was the opposite. He didn't just dream big, he talked about those dreams openly. In fact, one of the things that would define his entire career was his belief in himself, even when others didn't see what he saw. Before becoming a famous rapper, Kanye built his reputation as a producer. He worked behind the scenes creating beats for major artists and quickly gained attention for his unique sound. At a time when many hip-hop producers followed certain formulas, Kanye brought something different. He used soulful samples, emotional melodies, and production techniques that stood out immediately. But there was a problem. The music industry respected him as a producer. They didn't necessarily believe in him as a rapper. Imagine spending years proving your talent only to have people tell you that your dream is unrealistic. How would you react? Would you accept their opinion? Or would you keep pushing forward? For Kanye, quitting was never really an option. Then came the release of the College Dropout, an album that changed everything. Suddenly, people saw a different kind of rapper. Instead of focusing only on wealth or toughness, Kanye talked about insecurity, family, faith, education, and ambition. His music felt personal and relatable. The album became a massive success, and just like that, Kanye went from being a respected producer to becoming one of the most exciting artists in the industry. But what happened next is what truly made his career fascinating. Most artists find a formula that works and stick with it. Kanye did the opposite. Every album felt like a reinvention. With Late Registration, he expanded his sound. With Graduation, he embraced a bigger, more global style. Then came 808s and Heartbreak, an album that many people initially didn't understand but later influenced an entire generation of artists. And that raises an interesting question. How often do we reject something simply because it's ahead of its time? Sometimes innovation doesn't look impressive at first. Sometimes it looks strange, confusing, or even wrong. Yet years later, people realize they were witnessing something groundbreaking. Kanye's career has been filled with those moments. Then came what many fans consider one of his greatest achievements, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Critics praised it, fans embraced it, and it further cemented his reputation as an artist willing to take creative risks. But while his artistic success continued to grow, so did public attention on his personal life. And here's where things become even more complicated. Kanye became famous not only for music, but also for his opinions. He spoke openly, often controversially, and rarely seemed concerned about how his words would be received. Sometimes people admired that honesty. Other times they strongly disagreed with it. Let me ask you something. Is it possible to admire someone's talent while disagreeing with some of their actions or opinions? That's a question many people have wrestled with when discussing Kanye West. His relationship and later marriage with Kim Kardashian brought even more attention to his life. Together, they became one of the most recognizable celebrity couples in the world. Their family life, public appearances, and eventual separation became topics of global discussion. But imagine living under that kind of spotlight. Every success becomes news. Every mistake becomes news. Every personal struggle becomes news. Could any of us truly thrive if millions of people analyzed our lives every single day? Beyond music, Kanye entered the fashion world, an industry where many doubted he could succeed. Yet once again, He refused to accept limitations placed on him by others. He invested time, energy, and creativity into building a fashion brand that eventually became one of the most talked about names in modern streetwear. What's fascinating is that this pattern keeps repeating throughout his life. People doubt him. He pushes forward. Sometimes he proves everyone wrong. Sometimes he stumbles. But he never stops trying. And whether you admire that quality or not, it's difficult to ignore. Over the years, Kanye has also been open about personal challenges, including discussions surrounding mental health and the pressures that come with fame. These conversations sparked broader discussions about how society treats public figures and whether constant public scrutiny makes personal. Think about this for a moment. In today's world, where social media allows millions of people to instantly share opinions, are we becoming too quick to judge others without understanding their full story? It's an uncomfortable question, but an important one. Because behind the headlines, the controversies, and the viral moments is still a human being navigating extraordinary circumstances. Today, Kanye West remains one of the most influential and debated figures in entertainment. Some see him as a visionary who transformed music and culture. Others focus on the controversies that have surrounded him throughout his career. But regardless of where you stand, his impact is undeniable. His music influenced countless artists. His production changed hip-hop. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of music's most fascinating figures, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel tremendously and allows us to keep creating more stories about the people, moments, and ideas shaping our world. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.